Welcome to Coming Home to Yourself, the podcast for high achieving women who look like put together on the outside, but feel like they're quietly crumbling inside. I'm Jagoda, a coach, a mother, a woman who's walked through public criticism, private self doubt, and the quiet ache of wondering if I was ever enough. I've been bullied. I've been dismissed for being just a mom. And for years, I questioned my voice until I began to come home to myself. This is your space to exhale, to stop performing strength and start living your truth. Each week, I'll share honest stories, gentle insights, and soul-deep shifts to help you reconnect with the woman beneath the roles, the one you've forgotten, the one you miss, the one who's always been there. If you're tired of being the strong one, the capable one, the one who never breaks, you belong here. This is the invitation to slow down, to soften, and to finally feel safe inside your own life. You were never broken. You were never too much. You don't need to fix yourself. You just need to come home to yourself. Let's begin. The first time I said no without explaining, I thought I might throw up. I felt like I was standing on the edge of a cliff, about to jump into something I couldn't see, but somehow knew was mine. I remember it so clearly. It was in elementary school. There was this girl, loud, bossy, the kind who ruled with fear. She told me to bring her sweets to school the next day. I knew what would happen if I didn't. The teasing, the backlash, the cold shoulder. But something inside me whispered no. So I said no. And I still remember the ache in my chest, the guilt, the fear. And also the first flicker of real self-trust. Last week, we talked about grief, the holy ache that rises when we stop performing and when we let go of the older version of ourselves, when we finally slow down long enough to feel the cost of the roles we carried. But after grief often comes guilt, not because we've done something wrong, but because we've finally done something right. Because once you let the grief be real, your life starts to shift. You rest more. You protect your energy. You say no to things you no longer want. It shows up quietly, but powerfully. Are you being selfish? What if they need you? What do you think? Who do you think you are? Those are whispers in the pauses, in the silence after setting a boundary, after choosing a stillness. But guilt is not your compass. It's your leftover survival script. Old code from a time when pleasing others felt safer than protecting yourself. Guilt feels noble because it was once a way to stay connected, to feel loved, to avoid conflict. You learned it when being the good girl meant putting everyone else first. Being helpful got you praise. Being selfless made you worthy. These were survival scripts you learned, and they're still running, even when they are no longer serving you. But now, guilt is not your map. You're not surviving anymore. And this means questioning the rules that kept you small. When you override your needs, you disappear your presence, because the energy you give away, you can't also bring home. And the sooner you start saving your energy, the more energy you will have left for the people and things that truly fills you. But I have to be honest. In this process of becoming, of returning to yourself, some people won't understand. Friends, relatives, people you once felt close to. They might not support this new version of you, and that's okay. Just the other week, someone messaged me after months of silence. We were reconnecting casually, and suddenly the person said, "You should reach out earlier. You should try harder. You call yourself a coach, but this isn't how a coach behaves." And I thought, oh, okay. The old version of me would have apologized, felt ashamed, bent over backwards to fix it. But now I paused. And I remembered their expectations are not my responsibility. Their story, valid, but not mine to carry. Boundaries will trigger people, and that's okay. Not everyone will celebrate your growth. Not everyone will honor your new no. Some will say you've changed. And guess what? You have changed. But the ones who stay, who meet your boundaries with care and presence, those are your people now. The rest, let them belong to that chapter, not the one you're writing now. And as Brené Brown points out, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. The people who lean in, who respect your no, who feel it's okay to create space, that's your new village, your new community. The rest, they belong to the former version of you. It's okay to let them belong to that chapter and not the one you're writing now. I know so many people that question themselves. Why do I feel bad when I finally choose myself? And here's what I tell them. You're not bad. You're just shedding skin. It hurts because you're finally waking up to your own rhythm. And here's what I want you to carry. You have a right to your own rhythm. You don't have to explain your no. You're not the bad friend or cold coach. You're not being selfish. You're being wise. Setting boundaries isn't rejection, it's respect. It honors your presence, your energy, your truth. And when I catch that guilt wants to show up, I ask, is this my responsibility? If yes, then I act. If no, it's their burden, not mine. Let it go. Your presence matters more than their judgment. There's a story about a wildflower that once grew freely by a stream. It bloomed effortlessly, natural, vibrant, alive. But one day it was transplanted to a curated garden, clipped, contained, controlled. It wilted. Not because it was not strong enough, but because it wasn't in the right soil. Guilt is that garden. It's someone else's design for how you should grow. But confidence is returning to the stream. So don't let someone else's story rob you of your presence. And if you're standing at the edge of your own no, if your truth feels shaky but real, let yourself leap. Let the discomfort be your doorway. Let the shakiness be your sign. Because guilt will keep you small. But your life, your real, full, untamed life, needs you big. Life isn't about pleasing everyone. It's about knowing what's yours to carry and letting the rest fall away. If this landed for you, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, share it with someone who's been shrinking in silence. You're not selfish. for choosing yourself. You're just finally listening. And that's where coming home begins. Thank you for being here, for listening, for feeling, for letting these words land wherever they needed to. If something stirred in you today, let that be enough. You don't need to figure it all out. You don't need to rush to fix or change anything. Just keep listening to yourself. And if this episode offered you something, a breath, a truth, a shift, I'd love to know. Come find me on Instagram and Facebook. The links are in captions. Or send me a message with a word that spoke to you most. I read every one. Because this isn't just a podcast, it's a return to your body, to your breath, to your heart, to your own voice. And no matter how far you've wandered, you're never too far gone to turn around and come home. Until the next time, take care of yourself.